Yo, happy Thursday, GM. Welcome all you DGens out there.
GM, here we are. It's Thursday, yo, Jeremy. How are we doing?
We living.
We're
vibing.
We vibing.
You know, we're chilling. The market's actually no, the market's not up. But
hey, but ETH, the market's not up, but ETH is up. That's what matters, right?
I hope you didn't sell the bottom.
Yo, Q-Dog, appreciate that resub for 5 months in a row. Thank you so much. Yo, TrueCon, I see Just a Fish in the chat. Nova's here. Kaz, yo.
Hey, can you say that what TrueCon just put right here? Can you pronounce it?
Saludos desde Mexico.
Wow.
You like that? Yeah, there we go. I grew up in Texas, so I got I'm speaking a little bit of Espanol in my day. Not too much, but I can get by.
All right. Well, that was too much. We got to cancel now.
Okay. Yeah, TrueCon, just come take my spot, please. Thank you.
Anyways, welcome to everybody that showed up already on time. I think we were like a minute late. So the rest of you, thank you for being here, for all the love and support. Yep. We have a lot to cover today. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but it's been a crazy week. Not a lot of money being made, but a lot of activity.
Lots of news.
A lot of news, activity, and collections are being active. Things have kind of popped off, and we want to catch you up with everything. So this is our weekly recap, and we're just going to break it down for you one by one, everything that's happened. So if you've been gone, if you've been away, if you've been at work because, we had to get a job because ETH crashed, and this is your only time that you have dedicated NFTs, congrats, you made it.
Hey, but now that ETH is up, now you can put your 2 weeks in. It's over. We're back to being unemployed. We're ready to send it. DGen, let's go. So let's hop into it. Like Jeremy said, this is our new kind of weekly segment. This is our time frame. We're kind of testing it out. We also don't have a name for it yet. We have kind of thoughts of some names for it instead of just naming it like NFT Weekly Recap. That's kind of lame, right? We want some kind of catchy name. So if you guys have any ideas, feel free to send it our way, and we're maybe we'll pick one of those and build something around that. So yeah, with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into kind of what we normally do with some of our streams. Let's look at some prices. Let's look at some floors. And we've got flips.finance turned on right here. And, we can look at 24 hours, but I also kind of want to look at, since this is a weekly recap, I kind of want to look at the 7 days as well and see what's changed over the week. But we can look at the 24-hour first. Nothing too much really sticks out to me. I don't know about you. Do you see anything here? Maybe Azuki's at 14%, but that may be the only notable project on this first page.
Yeah, other than we have a merch thing going on with the Adidas Originals. I think those reached a little bit over 1 ETH at their top, 1.5 maybe. They're not down too bad. Let's see. Other than that, there's the laughable project of Imposters Genesis. That's the one that is basically like what's that game with the one with your like lying and stuff?
Oh man, I just forgot too. It's
dude,
we're starting off great right now. Yeah, it's Among Us. Among Us.
Yeah, Among Us.
It is, yeah.
There you go. That's the Among Us ripoff. I'm surprised that one's still at 0.82 because that's there was a lot of pieces in that collection, wasn't there?
I think so, but also I think this is the one that Elio Trades is behind, right? So it has that big influencer that has like his fans that are probably behind it, kind of propping it up, kind of like how not Gary VS, because obviously like no one is close to Gary V in this space, but Elio is he's a decently big name, so that's probably helping prop it up a little bit. But I think it meant it out for more expensive than that. So
yeah, and then CDB popped off randomly.
Yeah, they did.
I have no idea what that collection is or why it pumped, but I know like on Monday or Tuesday, those things were
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at the 7 day change. Let's look at the gainers for the 7 days, and this is we're going to talk about it a little bit. But you see at the very top there, NFT Worlds. I guess they're making a comeback, even though I don't know what they're making a comeback to. Well, we'll see. We'll talk more about it. Step in NFT, they're back up there. This is the ETH. This isn't Step in from Solana, and we haven't talked about this yet because we've been gone from streaming. But Step in released their ETH collection, and that is almost at a 2 ETH floor right now. If you had an OG Bored Ape, you were able to claim one for free per ape. So that was a nice little bonus for the ape holders out there. And outside of that, I mean, those are kind of the top two that are up a lot over the last 7 days. And then nothing else really. Maybe I don't know what the super cool world is, but they've got 530 ETH and, traded over there. But yeah, anything for the week stick out to you?
Let's see. There was, well, just NFT Worlds. For those of you who might have missed it, like last week, essentially Minecraft as a game, as a platform, they came out and said we are not allowing NFTs within our game. Which there was a lot of NFT projects, NFT Worlds included, that built their NFT project based on interoperability and integration with Minecraft, right? So when Minecraft made that announcement, NFT Worlds plummeted. I mean, they went from, I don't know, over 2 or 3 down to 0.6-ish.
Yeah.
And then if you would have sniped the bottom, which is really hard to do, if you would have bought at 0.6, you would have already made 2x this week. They're up at 1.35. They've made a bounce back. They've made a comeback. And it wasn't out of nowhere. They did make like a hype announcement or a brief announcement. It said 2.0, right? Like question mark. So they kind of teased that they're going to pivot and that there is going to have there's going to be something to come out of this. So despite the Minecraft announcement of banning NFTs, NFT Worlds does have a plan. Now, whether or not you believe in that plan, I don't know. DYOR.
They have a plan. Yeah, and since we're already talking about it, I mean, this was going to be our first subject that we talked about, and I already have the stuff pulled up here, so we can look up. This was the release that I'm sure by now most people in here are degens. You've already seen this. This feels like it's been months ago, right? But this happened last week. So yeah, Minecraft, like you said, they released a statement, and the big thing here down in bold is blockchain technologies are not permitted to be integrated inside our Minecraft client and server applications, nor may they be utilized to create NFTs associated with any in-game content, including world skins, persona items, or other mods. Basically a direct shot to NFT Worlds, like you said. And I looked at the charts, and they did bottom out at 0.7. That was the floor. People were taking offers like crazy on them, dropped down to 0.7, and they got back up to, I mean, you basically 2x'd, right? If you did buy the bottom, you 2x'd. But I wanted to get your thoughts, because they did, I mean, NFT Worlds, this is their statement they released. This is on their Twitter. You can go look at it. We're not going to go through the whole statement, but basically they're pretty much saying, hey, this is Web 2 versus Web 3. We're going to battle this. We're building our own game now. Like what all these other projects normally say, right? It's the same talking points. Hey, well, we're going to build our own game and our own metaverse, and we've got the funds. We're doing all this. So I want to get your thoughts. Are you a believer, or are you kind of are you a buyer, or are you a seller if you have an NFT World right now?
I mean, I'm selling off this pump. That's for sure. I'm selling off the pump. No, I'm taking my 1.35 and I'm out of there. I feel like there is going to be another crash coming, because even so, that may be true. They have the funds, they have the support, but to go out there and make a game that's as interoperable and modular as Minecraft, despite the lack of like visual fidelity, right? Which they actually have a lot. Like when you turn on the ray tracing and blah blah blah. When you have the graphics card to beef up Minecraft, it's actually a beautiful game, despite the voxel style. But that's gonna take quite a long time for them to do. You know, if they want to exactly copy Minecraft, that's fine. It is gonna cut down on that development time, but that's still a very high budget, and it's gonna take a long time, regardless.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I am a seller. I don't own any. If I did, I'd be a seller. I would have been a seller a long time ago. One of the reasons I didn't buy into this project at 5 ETH, 8 ETH, 10 ETH, 15 ETH, 20 ETH, right? Is because it was attached to Minecraft, and that always held me back and always had that doubt in my head where I was like, it's just you're relying on another company, right, to not shut you down. And not only is it just some random other company, it's not some small company. It's Microsoft who protects their IP, who wants to make their hey, Microsoft's got to get theirs, right? They like that money, and they don't like you making money off of their project off of their game that's free. So that always held me back from it. I'm completely bearish on Empty Worlds. I would not be a buyer. I'm a complete seller right now during this. I don't have any faith in the team. If you can't create your own thing from the get-go, why can you create one now? It's just there's so many red flags in it. Also, the team raised $4 or $5 million for marketing months and months ago and never spent any of it for marketing. They just kind of let it sit there. So there's just a lot of red flags there. I would completely stay away I would stay away from NFT Worlds. All right, let's go on to our next item. And again, we're kind of going from I guess we're kind of the orders almost from old to new. So this is something that also happened the end of last week. Sicko, you need to chill. Don't be tracking those wallets, all right? Keep those secret. And Trucon, I just see your comment about a heads up on Steppen. I may have a heads up for you later at the end of the show. We'll see. Maybe a little alpha kind of regarding Steppen, but not Steppen. We'll see. But that's the little teaser. We'll leave it there. But all right. So next up, last week we had some Moonbirds news. So first off, we had the oddities reveal, which Jeremy, you were streaming live. You were covering it. You were being a little news reporter.
I was there.
You were capping. You were saying they looked fantastic. You were in love with them. You said these are incredible. Everyone saw through it. You were just protecting those bags. I gotta appreciate that. But we gotta call them what it is. These oddities, they look like garbage, man. What? But this is the style of the art. I mean, anyone that was expecting anything different, that's kind of on them. This was probably about what I was expecting. There wasn't going to be some super, intricate PFP that looks fantastic. This I saw it, I was like, yeah, that looks about right.
I mean, if you're a fan of Grimplane, like I said on last week's stream, I think this is somewhat along the lines of what you were expecting. For people outside of the Grimplane circle, they were probably highly disappointed when these revealed. They are pretty neat, but again, I've seen these gassed up on the timeline, and I don't really agree with that as well. People are saying, oh, I'm into the proof ecosystem now, and I can't afford a proof pass or I can't afford a Moonbird, but I'm glad I got my oddities. And I feel like that's still a risky play. I know they're going to have a small roadmap kind of for this oddities collection, but I don't think you're going to get anywhere near the amount of benefits as you would with a Moonbird or their future Moonbirds Part 2, which may or may not be Ravens. So I'd kind of not necessarily stay out of oddities. If you want to pick one up just to have it, and again to build up your proof ecosystem portfolio, but if you're doing it to gain some of the proof benefits, I kind of shy away from that.
I would tend to agree. I've seen people on Twitter kind of say a lot of people are relating this to, hey, these are the mutants to the Bored Apes, but this is basically the Moonbirds version of their mutants. But it's not really, because they have proof has come out and said these aren't. They don't see this as a membership level collection, right? This was just kind of an extra thing thrown together as a reward for nesting. That's pretty much what it was. Just something, a fun project, right? So I don't view this as a secondary or a third tier membership. I would view more so the Ravens, what we expect coming up. I would pay more attention to that collection than I would for oddities.
I mean, it's still dope though. As a nesting reward, you literally got a piece from Grimplane for free. And go out there and try to buy other Grimplane pieces, right? And it's just a special collab. I mean, imagine a celebrity, a famous artist, whatever, coming in and then making a derivative of Bored Apes. Those of themselves, in their own right, those would be special and really cool.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily. It is sanctioned by the official collection, but it's not going to be a big part of the collection of the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, these are this is the Bored Ape Kennel Club, right? No utility. It's just for fun.
during a party, in Web3, and these are the party favors,
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Gimplin.
These are these are the napkins that people took home from Ape Fest with the logo on it, right? This is the Moonbirds version of those napkins that people are selling for $10 on eBay.
I don't want to FUD too much because I still got a bag, but
Oh, I understand. Yeah, yeah. I actually sold all of mine pre-reveal. So I don't have any oddities. I let go of mine pre-reveal for around whenever they are around the 3 ETH range. That's why I
they
sold
stayed
them.
there. They stayed.
They did.
They stayed at 3 to 3.5 all the way through. But it's still, again, it's Grimplin piece. It's super cool because it is related to Moonbirds, and just the logic of it as well is pretty cool because owls, right? When I'm not going to go into detail, but whatever, when they eat insects, bugs, whatever, then they regurgitate them up, and then they get in this little dried up cocoon thing, and then they come out like this, like that. The thought that they put into it, even in terms of when the airdrop occurred, and then when these revealed, like they're timing this to some of the moon cycles. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a lot of planning that goes on with their entire collection and their airdrops, and I give them props for that, to be honest. So, in a way, it's cool. I'm not buying bags of these though to stack them up.
Yeah, Dort's got a good point. These are these are the round 21 basketball airdrop equivalent for the Yuga ecosystem, right? Except they're a lot more expensive. But I will say I do kind of vibe with some of the one of ones. I think they look kind of nice. Like I like these like the slime lizard. It looks like the highest sale we've had on the oddities has been 30 ETH for one of the one of ones, and there's been a 21 ETH. So there have been there's been a good amount of large sales. So if you were able to mint or reveal one of these rare ones, then you definitely made a bag. It was a good gamble. But you look at, like, I mean, outside of the top couple, like once you get down to these and down, you're only like 3 or 4x the floor from reveal. So it definitely was a gamble, and it didn't pay off for a lot of people if they bought into the hype pre-reveal. Probably a lot of people holding the bag, but that's just whenever you play the NFT lottery, the NFT scratch off, whatever you want to call it, that's just what happens.
Yeah, but as they kind of, so to add on to like Dort's, like in terms of the layers or puzzle pieces and stuff like that, we haven't seen exactly what they're going to do in the future. If they're going to require, like, okay, you must have a Moonbird and plus an oddity to get this level of rewards. You must, or it's like Moonbird to get this level, oddities to get this level. We don't know. So, I mean, do you necessarily want to sell or get rid of it? Like, that's a risk that you take as well in terms of how they may reward you in the future.
Please don't make me have to buy an oddity, Jeremy. Please don't. I don't want one. Don't make me buy one. I'll do it if I have to, but I'm not gonna be happy about it.
We'll see, because some of these collections, I mean, they announce that ahead of time. Others they don't, and I kind of find it a little bit frustrating. But at the same time, it's all a part of the game.
Yeah, right? It's all the game theory
that we're playing. Like Pixel Bolt, we know by now. They didn't tell us up front, but as time kind of went along, it was super obvious. Like, hey, you probably shouldn't get rid of stuff, right? You got to hold it to be. To go down this path, this path, this path. So we'll see how Proof plays this out. But one of the other things that just happened as soon as we went live is if you just want to hop to it, I don't know if you can look up the Meebits Twitter account, Meebits NFTs.
Yeah.
Yuga made an announcement, right? Yuga.
Okay, we got some breaking news.
Yuga just made an announcement, breaking news. What does this button do? On button do? It's a picture of a Meebit animated. It says MB1, Moonbits 1, Meebits 1. When we acquired Meebits,
that's I'm ready for that collection to come out. Moonbits, let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
I mean, they basically already are Moonbits, right? Moonbits. Yeah. they're Pixel. So Yuga acquired Meebits. If you guys didn't know, that was like quite a few months ago. They bought Punks and Meebits, and they haven't done anything with them since, pretty much. And people were wondering, like, are they dead? Did they acquire just to like trash them, to get rid of them? They said, behind the scenes, we've been hard at work, lurking, discussing, experimenting, building, and mumbling about voxels in our sleep. We've also put together an incredible team for the Meebs, including some brilliant creative thinkers and some diehard Meebits community members. To keep the party going, Yuga Labs will get a 5% royalty on secondary sales of Meebits on all major marketplaces moving forward, and it's going to begin rolling out immediately. So that's 5% on the top of all the sales that's going to be in place right now. So what are we building?
Yeah.
While we can't get into specifics, surprise, go figure. That's Yuga Labs, right? They don't really let us know until we know. Our vision for MeBit centers around embracing the currents already core to the community: play, DIY experimentation, tech minimalism, and interoperability. So, anyways, more information on the Discord, MeBit's there. I've tried to pay attention to some of the sales, and honestly, there's not a whole lot that went in as soon as we went live for the stream. But in the last like 8 minutes, literally like 8 minutes, so in those whole 23 minutes, nothing popped off. In the last 8 minutes, there's been quite a few sales going on, but it's not anything too crazy. There's probably maybe 10 sales on the whole what is that 20K collection. So
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, you can see like from 10 minutes ago, there's a lot more popped off. Yeah, but one sold an ApeCoin. There you go. Yeah, that's a surprise announcement. We knew that they were doing something with MeBits. Like this wasn't like a surprise. So yeah, here we go. Maybe I think we're kind of all waiting for that. We're waiting for that catalyst. Kaz says the floor jumped from about 4.3 to 5.1. So that's definitely a nice little jump up right there. If we see, yeah, right around 5 ETH right now for the cheapest on OpenSea. If it's not an OpenSea bug, so sometimes on OpenSea, if they're moving fast, old listings are still going to show. But I don't have too much thoughts on this. I'm just, we knew this was coming. We were just kind of waiting for the announcement, right? And there it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean 0.6 to even at 0. And it's going to come down, right? As people see this announcement, they're probably going to go list. But to make maybe potentially 0.6, but you got to pay over 4 ETH, almost 5 ETH for it. Probably not that great of a return. So yeah, we're not seeing it pop off yet, but yeah, who knows? Yeah,
good little shout out there. So back to Moonbirds, we have one more new Moonbirds topic, and it was kind of, I feel like early in the week, Moonbirds, it was a bad week for Moonbirds. It was very prevalent on Twitter. It was very easy to FUD. If you didn't own a Moonbird, people, they talked about how ugly the oddities were, and then the next thing is we had the silver nesting rewards. And this is on top of the oddities. This is a few days later. Hey, we got to claim a fanny pack and some socks, and that just gave the added fuel to the fire on Twitter. People just started funning like crazy. Like, hey, congrats, you nested your bird for 2 months now, and you get a fanny pack and a pair of socks. What were your thoughts on this? Because I know both you and I are Moonbirds holders. You've got a proof pass. You've been approved for a while. Is this what you expected for kind of like the silver nesting reward? Was this on par? Was it disappointing for you, or where were your thoughts on it?
I mean, I already sold my Moonbirds. I'm out. I sold my proof pass. I mean,
did you at least get your fanny pack? Did you claim your fanny pack and sell?
I claimed my fanny pack. I claimed my socks.
All right,
and I'm
good.
Out there, But no, to be honest, again, like as you've already disclosed, we're like Moonbirds holders. But it's not like I was expecting, $20,000, $50,000 of value from the nesting rewards, especially just a 60, 90-day one. I think it's like it's more of a long-term play. And the other thing that I don't want to like combat it or like debate it like on the Twitter or the timeline, but it really makes me chuckle when people say like, I spent 30,000, I spent 50,000 on this and I get a pair of socks. It's like, how much of that money actually went to Moonbirds, right?
Oh.
And they're not going to spend that entire lump sum of that royalty that they got from you, whether it be like $1,000 in a one-time reward, because that's not a good way to run a business, right? Yeah. The burn down for their budget is going to be here before they know it if they try to reward everybody like that. So it's not sustainable. But you got to realize the people that are probably tweeting about it on the timeline anyways, they're probably like mid-20s to mid-30s, probably super degen, probably unemployed in a bad way. Like they don't have
they need something positive to happen. They have nothing to put in the fanny pack, right? They got nothing.
They got nothing. They got no cash.
I feel like people have tracked. Obviously, people whenever they think of airdrops or claims, you go, your mind goes to Bored Apes and what they've done in the past and how valuable their drops have been. You have the serums, you've got the ape coin, even the Kennel Club. Like everything has been so valuable. And so I think that just people tracking that, because it's always talked about, like you can never get away from people talking about how valuable the drops from Yuga are, and so I think that just sets an unrealistic expectation on other projects that aren't Yuga, and whenever something like this happens, they see it as a negative, and it's like, I mean, what were you? I think people are legitimately expecting like Yuga level value to come out of these airdrops or these rewards, and I mean it's just not. If you're going expecting that, it's not going to happen. You're going to be disappointed 10 out of 10 times, right? It's there is not another Bay C or Yuga, right?
Or technically,
not yet. There could be soon.
Technically,
but
there already was, but that was proof, not the Moonbirds. So it didn't start at Moonbirds;
Yeah.
it was proof.
Yeah.
And then think of the value that you got of the Moonbirds airdrop. Like that's more than the M1 serum,
Yeah.
or maybe even the M2.
And a lot of the FUD that I've seen about the nesting, they talk about the hats and stickers, and they talk about the fanny pack and socks, and everyone leaves out the fact that you did get an oddity for nesting a moonbird. Like only nesting moonbirds got the oddity that you could have sold for 3, 4, 5 ETH at its time, depending on the time you sell it. So I mean, if you minted a moonbird for 2.5 ETH, you sold your oddity, you're already out. You're already plus money. You know, regardless of what you paid. You know, it doesn't matter if you paid the top of the market, right? No one, you know, moonbirds approved. They don't care what you paid for it.
Yeah, nobody says like. Nobody's bragging about having a serum drop to them if they paid 90 ETH for an ape, right? Like those people aren't up by much, or probably down. Like you got to go based off if you're gonna take that route, if you're gonna make that kind of remark about them, then you got to go off the mint price, right? And the mint price was 2.5. And if you sold an oddity 3.5, like you said, you're already up on that. Plus the event that they had in New York, and then plus just the mechanism that they're doing with nesting. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple other collections that are out there that are doing it, but there's none bigger than Moonbirds that are doing it, because Yuga is not. The only one that's bigger than Proof and Moonbirds is Yuga. So, and Yuga, again, like they're just trying to take an alternative route to where Yuga not really rewarding OG owners in any way, like the serums, the dogs, the land, and even at the events, right? Like it didn't matter if you had an ape or you were a guest of an ape, a +1, no matter how long you held it, you were all kind of treated the same at that event, which is a good way, which is a good thing and a bad thing. And Proof is just trying to do things different. But yeah, basically I can see from external views why the nesting rewards caught a lot of heat and a lot of FUD.
Yeah.
Was I super excited about it? No. Is it something that I can claim for free for holding an asset that, I mean, I just plan to hold anyways? Sure.
Yeah, Trucon says Moonbirds knows how to throw a party, that's for sure. They do.
They literally got tattoos live as
they did.
Tame Impala and David Blaine were at the party.
Also, one thing about the fanny, it's not a normal fanny pack. These fanny packs, they're going to be one of ones. Like, they're one of one fanny packs. Every fanny pack that's sent out is different. Like there's no fanny pack that's the same. So, and I think their thought process is, you know, they thought it'd be a fun idea. People go to these events in real life, bring their fanny packs, and like kind of trade around. So I think it's gonna be fun. I'm a fan of it, even though it's not like, you know, it's not an ape coin level of a drop or a serum. It's just like a fun thing. But we do have 90 days from now, we have the gold nesting rewards coming out. And I gotta get your thoughts on that. What do you think is going to be the reward for gold nesting? Do you think they're going to try to? Is it going to be along the same lines? Is it going to be a sweater? Is it going to be a T-shirt? Or is it going to be something bigger now? They've probably sat back and listened to the FUD and be like, all right, we got to ramp up this gold reward now.
I think it's going to be one of one Moonbird Speedos. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me.
There we go.
Right in time for that perfect, you know, fall lake weather when you just can hop in and tan without getting, you know, skin cancer and sunburns. Like it's just going to be a nice time. And I think that's when Speedos are going to come out. Moonbird Speedos, you heard it here first. Also with maybe some goggles or like a snorkel.
Hey,
absolutely.
I'm a fan of that. Let's go and send it. All right, so moving on to our next news item. We had over the weekend, Artifact was they kind of took over Twitter with their forging mechanism. with their hoodies. So I guess first, before we get into that, Artifact tweeted out. This is while we were kind of on our break and hiatus, trying to hype up, back to their, back to Clone X collection, everything. They, tweet out a new era begins. 3D files. They finally released full commercial rights to their holders, which is something that people have always kind of held against them and funded them for. So this was good to see them announce, and they've started building off of that now, and they're starting to they're also giving the community tools to use their Clone X for. It's not just like, hey, we've released your rights, now go do stuff with it. Like they've said, we've released your rights, and here's some things you can do now to get creative with. So, and one of those things was, I don't even have it pulled up, but they had the hoodies. The forging happened over the weekend. I didn't mint them, but I think I was a little bit out of it then. I wasn't tracking it too much, but I heard, and you can verify for me, maybe you can walk us through it. I heard the minting was kind of scuffed for the hoodies.
Yes. So the claiming or the minting of the hoodies was super scuffed. It was delayed 2-3 times, and then they finally gave up. Or just to preface this, the entire weekend leading up to this, they said, don't worry, you're not going to have to rush. It's going to be a Zen process. Website's going to be solid. We have the best security guys working on this. We have the best team. Come to find out, that's all cap, because that website was trash. A lot of people were having trouble even verifying their emails. It wasn't a Zen process at all. And then come to find out, there was a rush because there was only 8,888 of them. And there's like 50 gajillion times that amount of eligible users because they included the Artifact shoes, the Nike whatever shoes, and then plus all the clones, which is the clones themselves are a 20K collection.
Yeah, so you've got like, well, I mean, how many shoes are there? Like 10K, 8K?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was probably enough for maybe 20% of the population, I guess, 15% of that eligible pop. So come to find out, it was a rush, and then they didn't tell you the mint price until the day before, I believe, which was 0.3. Which you can FUD that yourself. I don't know. It's just money. Money is relevant, so I don't know if 0.3 for a hoodie is a lot for you or not. Some of you guys in the chat are whales, other you are minnows. So I really don't know, but. Yeah, so the mint happens, then they give up, and then they say, here's a contract address, go mint from contract, which is like a terrible way to say stuff, but I think they just threw in the white towel. But I feel like a lot of people could get scammed on that, right? Like, okay, here's the contract, and then people can just go in the Discord or the Twitter or anywhere and start putting links to other contracts that they had ready to scam people. But I realized that early on because I saw the minting kind of happening. And I was like, wait, people are gonna try to mint this from the contract. So I go there, we figure it out. Me, BSB, TrueCon, the Q-Dog's in there or something like that. We go ahead and mint ours from the contract. And what I should have done is accepted the offers right away because they were going for like 0.5, 0.6. But in my head, I'm a merch guy, so I was like, I know I'm gonna hold them and redeem them. I didn't want to take the risk, so I let it play out. But anyways, yeah, that was just terrible. They did admit to everybody and themselves that it was a horrible experience. It never should have happened. The blame is on them. They said that it was outside of their control. For the main root, like the cause of the problem was outside their control, but they were still going to take responsibility for it. So I don't know if that's like taking half responsibility, but they did admit it. So.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I missed all that. I ended up buying 2 of the hoodies on secondary for I think they got down to like the low 0.2s. I scooped up a couple there and I ended up forging them. But after all that, I feel like they had a pretty good recovery in the end because the forging experience, for me at least, was super smooth. And it was, I went in there, it was, very easy, set up everything and claim it. And I'm assuming you claimed yours, right? So obviously, or otherwise it'd be worthless now.
Yeah, I mean, Dor has some pretty choice words here for Artifact. He said it's the worst blue check.
But he's also not wrong here. They've never had a smooth drop. maybe recent, like since Clone X and on. Like, I'm sure back with their shoes, which they never really had actual drops for those, but yeah, all of their drops have been kind of scuffed. Like the Clone X drop, it was. I think they claimed it was something was happening because it wasn't selling out, so they said it was like a DDoS attack and they paused the mint.
It's kind of like TrueCon when he plays Fortnite, right? Like he tries to do so much extra stuff rather than just like aiming at the person. He tries to make it all fancy and do this and that. Whereas, the mechanics get messed up, and Artifact is trying to get too fancy with stuff, and I appreciate their efforts, but some of the things can just be done maybe a lot simpler, cleaner, smoother, and that would add to your user experience and just get this FUD like off the record, like off the plate.
Yeah.
And but like you said, the redeeming process of that, the forging part was super clean. But they've had this going years back, probably like 1 to 2 years back, because they've had collections with Pharaoh, right, the artist, where they've had shoes, and it was an NFT. You forge them, you get a physical pair of shoes. So they've been doing that part for a while, and I really enjoyed that part. Like you said, it looks to be better than the way that other collections have done, like a claim for a merge or a physical item. I can think of one that this week, all right, Parallels look super messy. I'm not gonna cap. So they did like a snapshot for Prime key holders, and then you get to like mint a hoodie redemption pass, so like a voucher for a hoodie, but then they come in different sizes, like for each NFT. So I feel like that's unnecessary. Like they could have done it the way Artifact did it on the forging process. You put the information in as you burn that 1155. Like it's so messy and unnecessary to do it the way that it seems that Parallel has done it. So I don't know.
Yeah, and we'll kind of get into that as well, but yeah, the forging was super clean. I'm looking forward to getting the hoodie. I think they ship out, I think, what was it, like October, December? It's later this year we actually get the hoodies, but they should be, it's a fully AR interactive like hoodie. It's real life, but I think there's going to be like a QR code on it, right? It's real life. It's a real life hoodie. I promise. It's not just a fake hoodie. I don't know. They're doing a good job of trying to merge this whole like digital physical world together and have both aspects. Whenever you redeemed your NFT for the hoodie, you got another NFT that there's going to be more uses for down the road. But the only thing they removed was removing the claim for the physical hoodie.
Yeah. Kaz with a little reminder about the Adidas tracksuit and hoodie same month. Oh yeah, same month. Delivery in terms of Artifact and Pixel Vault thing, right? Is it Pixel Vault or is it Bored Ape?
It's
both.
It's Pixel Vault and Bored Apes and Adidas.
Bored Apes, Adidas. One thing before we move on is just because we fudded Artifact enough, but I saw this tweet earlier, man, of this video. Let's see.
Oh yeah, I was about to pull it up too, I think.
So I don't know if you guys have seen the video, and I don't know if I shared audio. Did I share audio? I'm gonna try that again real quick. All right, so I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but this goes so hard. Are y'all ready? So if you guys don't know what the Artifact hoodie looks like, basically there it is. That's what it looks like in the video.
It is.
It's like a unique Artifact QR code, and this is what you're going to point your phone at or whatever device that you have, and you're going to have different like AR filters, and it's going to be the hoodie that kind of like keeps on giving in a way. But anyways, a collector, holder, supporter, fan artist made this hype video. Hey.
I think you can only hear the music there. I don't think we could, but
oh my god, I'll put the link in the
yeah,
the chat.
Put the link in so people can watch it with audio. And but it looked clean. It looked really good.
Dude, I don't know why, but that clone right there, or that whole video, just reminded me of Chris of TrueCon. I was like, yeah, that guy's. Oh man.
So speaking of kind of like basically being creative with your own clone X's and stuff, it looks like you right before we came on stream, one of the Artifact team members tweeted out some, I guess, kind of, it's not really breaking news, but it's news-ish. So the next thing, sorry, my dog is squeezing his toy. He's having a good time right
He
now.
liked that video. He liked that video.
Yeah, he's bumping with you. He's but so this came out, and basically the next forging event is coming out that's going to involve Clone X's, and there's going to be some decision to make. Go ahead. Hold on one second. Let me. Jesus.
Yo, quick intermission here, stream. Oh, what up, Cat Dork God Chili Brother Kaz? Appreciate y'all coming out. True Con, Mr. JVB himself, the GOAT, Q Dog. Yo, speaking of the GOAT, where's Harry? Harry still might be at work, actually. I think he's on his drive home. He usually gets off about 5 p.m. CST. It takes about an hour for him to get home. Then he has to roll up. I mean, you know the deal. Anyways, we do have some changes coming probably within about 4 weeks. So not schedule related. We're trying out the schedule now this week and the next week. But in terms of brand and looks and vibes and feels and little features of NFA that should be here within 4 to 6 weeks. We're working with an external team. So that schedule is kind of tentative, but we're doing our best for you guys. And earlier, I'm not going to announce it yet, but earlier I secured the bag for you guys. I just secured an allow list for an upcoming project that I think a lot of you guys will appreciate. So we'll link that at some other point, probably within the next 7 to 10 days. Yep. Oh, nope. Muted or disconnected. Yo, fanny packs, NFA fanny packs. Nope. Everybody, every single one of you is getting a NFA MacBook with case included. Nope.
Wait. There we go. We good?
Yeah, it was just software.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry about that. My dogs were going crazy. I probably looked like an insane person on camera there, but my puppy decided to get tangled in my Wave XLR cords and started whining, going crazy, ripped everything off the desk. So hey, we're back though.
I mean, puppers, what are you gonna do?
And I took away the speaker, so we're actually back now.
Let's go.
Okay.
Anything else on Artifact? I know you said like the next forging deal.
Yeah, the next forging. I missed. I don't know what you said. I'm assuming you kind of gave your opinions on it.
No.
I'm curious to see what they have in store for it. I don't have a Clone X anymore. I sold one a while ago, but I am looking at kind of jumping back into Clone X. So I've been window shopping a lot lately with Clone X, and I may be pulling the trigger here soon. I'm just kind of waiting to see if there's anything I like out there. So I'll keep it updated if I decide to pull the trigger. But stuff like this kind of makes me excited to jump into a collection, because you know they're building. There's a big brand behind it, and I kind of have more faith in this than I do with some other random collection out there, right? More than the moon bits.
The thing is, like, are you gonna get rich off of Clone X? I don't know if you're gonna get rich off of any NFT project anymore these days.
No.
But the thing is, if you want to build out like a high quality, and maybe the drops aren't high quality, right? I'm not saying the drops, the mechanisms there, but if you want to build out like a top tier, like AAA high quality portfolio of cool looking NFTs that are interactive, interoperable, AR, like built for the future, I think you have to be involved in Artifact and Clone X.
Yeah.
And just like they said here, like created 10, and that's just within not even a year's time, they've created 10 next gen collections that Clone X holders will be able to acquire. So that sounds pretty cool to me, because I'm not that I'm about the art, like I'm not a huge art collector, I'm not into fine art, blah blah blah, but I just like having cool stuff. Like you got my shoe collection in the background, got my apes up there on the wall, LED lights in the back. Like Artifact is right up my alley in terms of just collecting cool stuff, and I get to claim that just for having a Clone X, right?
Yep.
So
yeah, I wish I would have kept the one I had a while ago, because I missed the monoliths, the shoe, like I missed all those drops. But definitely like looks like Chili is in the same boat as me. He's also window shopping. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, and we'll keep track of artifact clothing. That's one of the projects that we kind of keep close track on, because it's one that's very prevalent in the ecosystem, one that you're involved with pretty heavily with. So we got to pump your bags.
Well, I mean, I did sell Clonex like at 19.5 ETH or something when they were pamped. So that was definitely a W before they dropped. I think they're like 9 ETH now. But the other thing
7.5.
That 7.5. Sheesh. The other thing is just that Nike stamp on it, right? Like they're literally owned by Nike, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. But in terms of collectability and hype beast, like once this Web2 crowd or community, right, the hype beast, the sneakerheads, kind of get into this market as well. I know they were already here at some point, especially with Top Shot and the extremely active days of NFT trading, but it wasn't all of them. And as soon as this stuff kind of becomes a little bit more mainstream like that, these early days of Clonex and Artifact, because they're attached to Nike, are going to have, I mean, who knows what the limit is in terms of their collectability and value.
Yeah,
there are Nike diehards out there.
Oh my gosh,
with a lot of money.
It's insane. I mean, I just wear my wife was she was kind of I'm not gonna say impressed, but she was kind of weirded out because I've never been a shoe person. We're not really shoe people, but recently, I started trying to get into like in New York City. We went to Fight Club and we all kind of bought some shoes and stuff, and so I've got some more. I got some Jordans, some J's, and I wore them out. We went on a date night like the other night, and I wore my J's out, and I've never had compliments on my shoes in my life, and I've had just by the going to dinner, it was like 3 or 4 people just like, yo, nice shoes. And my wife was like, "That's so weird," and it's kind of like that. Like that's the thing, that like Nike is that name, and that kind of what attracts me to Artifact. Even though, people always say like, "Oh, well, we want to separate Web 2, Web 3." I mean, they're sure, whatever. But at the end of the day, Nike's a brand that's built out that people know that has that power behind it.
Nike is never gonna die, bro.
No.
Once you have multiple billions of dollars, you're not dying.
Yeah,
like, they're gonna be here forever. Anyways, I think that's enough Artifact.
That is enough Artifact. Let's hop into something we talked about a couple days ago when we streamed. We just wanted to, I kind of wanted to hit on it just because it finished up yesterday. So we had the Damien Hirst currency drop, the exchange. It ended yesterday, and I think my prediction was it'd be a 60-40. Whenever we looked at it, there was only like 4,200 physicals exchanged. So it did cross 50-50, and there's right around 5,200 NFTs were exchanged for the physicals. So a little bit more than 50% of NFTs were exchanged for physicals, and they're going to burn. All those NFTs are burned, and the people that kept the NFTs, they're going to burn 4,851 Damien Hirst pieces. They're going to burn them live. I think he's going to do some kind of event out of it in London. And for those that didn't see, we tweeted it out from our account, but it was just it's kind of cool seeing, looking inside of like one of the top artist's mind, kind of going through this whole process, because this was really fun to track over the last year, and especially the last couple of days as the burn process kind of ramped up. And this thread from Hirst, he just kind of breaks down like his mindset going into it. He kept 1,000 of the pieces for himself, and he just talks about how early on he thought he was going to keep 100% of the physicals, and he ended up actually keeping all of them as NFTs. So he's going to burn, out of the 1,000 that he owns, he's going to burn all 1,000 of those adjacent physicals that represent the NFTs, because he decided to keep those as NFTs. So I think that is, I think it's cool. It's just such a cool story, and also it's a fun experiment too, because Hirst is such a big name in the art space that if you just go Google or go on Facebook and just search Damien Hirst and look at all the headlines that have come out of this, people, it's so funny. Like I think like CNN had a headline about it. There's these random like art blogs have headlines about Hirst is burning his physical pieces. He's destroying them, and it's just like seeing kind of like the backlash and just the weird like completely uninformed takes on it is really kind of fun to watch. So if you got spare time and you just want a good laugh, I'd definitely recommend spend some time just looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just giving a round of applause to us in chat for predicting that there were going to be more physicals and NFTs remaining. So I think we hit that on the dot. And not only that, we even got more specific, and we said it's going to barely kind of cross over that threshold. And you think, I mean, 150 over. I mean, that's we kind of nailed that one.
That's close. But also, it's if you have an NFT version, I mean, just there's 4,800 of those NFTs left. Take out 1,000 of them, because 1,000 of those NFTs are owned by Hearst. So really, the circulating supply for the NFT version of the currency is really only like 3,800. So that's not a lot at all. I've been watching the prices a lot lately, and I may pick up a second so I can have an NFT version of it, because I definitely could see this once this kind of like catches on more, especially the burning, like his whole like burning party and everything's gonna be happening in September. It's gonna get more eyes on it and everything. The NFT price, I'm just gonna say, as we know, NFTs are easier to sell than physicals, and so that NFT price, once more eyes are on it, that it could go up from where it is now. And I'll be watching it closely. And I may pick up a second one so I can have one of each. Because mind you, these did get up to 20 ETH floor at one point, and I could see them getting back up there with being that low of a circulation now.
Yeah, because Fish bought it.
Absolutely, and then now they're all gone. All the paper hands exchanged for physicals.
I can name a lot of influencers that bought a currency at like 15 ETH, bro.
Yeah,
including like BJ himself.
Yeah. All right, so let's because we don't need to spend too much time on this. We just kind of want to do a wrap up because we talked about it earlier in the week. The next topic, this ended last night. As you know, we're both ape holders. We have ApeCoin, so we participate in the DAO, kind of, maybe. So there was a vote that happened. It ended last night, and it is the AIP70, the Bored Ape Gazette. Basically, it was a proposal for the Ape DAO to fund the Bored Ape Gazette, and it passed.
It passed. I mean, I don't know how you guys voted. Let us know in the chat. Did you vote yes or no? If you have ApeCoin, whatever. If you even knew about this, but just break it down real quick. It's essentially a 24/7 news outlet regarding the Bored Ape ecosystem. So from top to bottom, Bored Apes, mutants, dogs.
It's the state-run media of Yuga, basically, right? Yeah. It's someone just. They started this Twitter account a long time ago, like last year, just the Bored Ape Gazette. It's like a catchy name, and they just kind of tweet it out, and now they have a website and just kind of cover stories around apes, just random stuff. And basically now their way of revamping it is they submitted a proposal to the DAO and asked for funds so they can just focus on it, like fully, completely concentrate on it, or vamp up coverage, hire more people, and really like ramp it up to cover ape. And Basie and Yuga full, like more than they have before. So I don't know. Did you vote on this? I know you got some ApeCoin.
I did not vote. I abstained, but I just knew that it was gonna I took a look at it, took at the votes, like it was gonna pass, whether or not how I felt about it. I think something like this could have been, or it was definitely like needed, but I don't see why like Yuga Labs themselves don't already have the resources to do something like this, even if it's not like a newsletter or whatever news content, like just something on their site, like just literally like a blog section of their site with updates, right? Like behind the scenes updates, interviews, blah blah blah, this that.
Yeah. See, my thing is, I was actually the first person to vote no against it with my ApeCoin.
Wow, fodder.
I saw this and I said, no way. Listen, I'm all for people creating their own things, building out the Ape IP, building off of it, covering it, doing whatever you want. I don't see a reason, and this is my thoughts on it. Maybe I'll get funded for my thoughts on it. I don't know if people share it. I guess I'm in the minority because obviously it passed pretty handedly, but I just don't see a reason why the DAO needs to fund this. Like, if you want to cover Bored Ape stuff and Yuga, go for it, do it, and create enough content or quality content that makes people want to subscribe to it or pay you for your service instead of being funded from the DAO. And the prices are it's so weird. Like whenever I was reading through it, it's like for 7,000 per month, I'll ramp up, and then lower down it says, and estimates 10,000 a month, so it goes up 3,000, and then at the end it's like, well, overall cost will be 150,000 for the first year, which is more than 10,000 a month. Like the price in the own article, I kept going up and up and up.
You pulled out
Like,
the calculator. You pulled out the
like
calculator. And you ran the numbers.
it was just so weird, and it's like we just gave someone 150. Like, we're just like, I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I think something like this is needed, but I don't think I don't think the DAO needs to fund it. I don't think that's not what we should be funding. That's not what we should be using the DAO for, is funding things like this. Because honestly, Jeremy, we're both ape holders. We cover Yuga and Bored Apes on our stream. Let's go ahead and submit a proposal to the DAO. Maybe we can get maybe we can get paid. We can ramp up our ape coverage for a nice little chunk for the right price.
Chukon's not paying me enough to do this. I need that ape coin. But no, but to be honest, like that's literally like the format or the structure that was kind of like took place here. And for me, as and I when I think of my ideas or business models, whatever this, that, or when I review like NFT projects coming out, one of the tough things is like Old Sport that came out or minted yesterday and is in minting currently, like today. But the thing is that it's more like a crowd fund before the product is even out, right? And I know Bored Ape Gazette, like they're already doing their thing, they have the newsletter, this, that, but I feel like it should be a try before you buy type thing. Like I don't know, I don't get why we have to do like a blind marriage. Like we have to commit to something before we even know what the result of that is going to be. And I feel like a lot of projects, like it's kind of like gimme. Then I'll do something where I really respect the people, the artists, the projects, the businesses that put their own blood, sweat, and tears and money into a project, make it be successful, and then look to monetize that somehow, versus the whole GoFundMe and like startup type stuff.
Yeah.
Like I respect that other model versus give me money up front and then I'll do something.
Well, I feel like it almost seems like it's almost like in the ape DAO ecosystem now. It's who do you know type of thing, because we saw Papacito's proposal where he wanted money to make ape merch, and it got fudded like crazy. He got blasted on Twitter, like completely got shot down. It was like 98% against it. And this is, in my eyes, this is the same thing. Where we're giving somebody money, they're and what we're getting in return is they're going from 1 to 2 stories a day to now 3 to 5, and we're paying $150,000 for that to happen. It's I don't know. I just feel like it's a weird proposal. It kind of went under the rug, or not under the. Yeah, I guess I didn't see a lot of people talk about it. I feel like if more people talked about it, maybe there would have been more attention to it, kind of like there was with the Papacito proposal. But I didn't see that much because I don't think a lot of the really big hitters really voted on this. Because at the end of the day, the ape DAO, the ApeCoin DAO, really 4 people control the whole thing. It's literally like 4 people that have the majority of ApeCoin that can vote whatever the way they want, and they control whatever proposal. So
I mean, absolutely no disrespect to the people that are working on Bored Ape Gazette, but and they don't care if I respect them or not.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, my opinion is I would respect them more if they put their own kind of money and labor, like I said, blood, sweat, and tears into this, and just did their own thing versus getting compensated from the DAO, up front. So
cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on. We've got let's talk about some World of Women.
Let's do it.
So first,
are they capping?
Hey, before we get started, before we talk about this, let's just give a round of applause to the World of Women. Yesterday was their 1-year anniversary, so they made it a year. It's gone by quickly, but yesterday they minted out. It was their sale date. So happy anniversary to World of Women.
Wow anniversary.
The 1-year WoW anniversary. Oh my god! All right, we're canceled. All right, so the WoW news of the day yesterday, they announced a snapshot on. They announced that on Tuesday. The snapshot was, I believe, was it yesterday, and then it was distributed today.
Yes, correct.
So, and what happened? They released this video, and basically they sent these capacitors to all the holders. And we look on OpenSea, you can see there's green capacitors and blue ones. Blue ones were already airdropped to WoW holders previously, and the green ones were the ones that were sent to the WoW Galaxy holders today.
Yeah, and I don't know the stats of the green one throughout the day, but I know the blues were already sitting at 0.1 for quite a while. So even though that they're fully distributed, whatever, this new snapshot, like they haven't taken too much of a tumble.
Yeah.
But there's still speculation behind this because all the details of what these capacitors do, that's not revealed, right? So we have no idea. We
have no idea. All we have is that, you know, and I'll post this tweet here in the chat. But they just released this tweet, and there's a like a minute-long video that has kind of hints and teasers on what the capacitors could be for. You know, that they mentioned something like, it sounds like there's going to be some kind of game theory on how to, in their words, transform these. So obviously we'll be able to use this to turn it into something, transform maybe your WoW, or we don't know what it's going to be. But yeah, there's some hints, and I think they're trying to make, like, they're basically trying to game theorize it a little bit. So, like I said, we don't really know too much yet. All we know is from this video and what they look like.
Yeah, and then just to add on to that, I mean, just thinking about it, speculating a bit, right? What do capacitors do? They store up charged energy, right? So, like, as that energy is unused, it can go into capacitors, store that up to be used at a later time. So are they going to pursue some type of nesting rewards, right? Like Moonbird staking rewards, where you kind of like, with the use of a capacitor, maybe you can stake your World of Women and earn rewards that way. That's the way I'm thinking about it, just because, again, I asked myself, what does a capacitor do? Stores up energy. So is that going to be used in a rewards type of Moonbirds level, or is that going to be like a gamification of things?
And yeah, and that's good. That's a good thought, because something in the video said that hints at is like the timing that you use it could affect on what the outcome is. So that could have an effect on like how much stuff is stored in it whenever you use it. Affects if something's good, or if it's bad, or if it's, you know, who knows. So yeah, I'm curious to see more thoughts on this. It's just, again, I feel like some of these NFTs, some of these projects are just, I guess I'll go ahead and say, I hope it's not a third collection. Like, we already have the WoW Gs. Like, we don't need a third collection, right? WoW Gs are already kind of low enough. Just don't be another collection. Kind of like with the Cool Cats, with the Cool Friends, or like that teaser. Like, we hope it's not a third collection. Like,
you're out of pocket.
Like, hopefully it's like hopefully it's something else. Just don't be a third like PFP collection.
Taggy out here taking shots now. You didn't have to say all that.
Yeah, here we go. It's not even fun. I mean, I got WoW Gs too. Look, I've got. Let's see, where's this at? I'm not logged into my current one. I got airdrop 13 of these green capacitors, so I want them to do well. Trust me. We're still vibing with the WoW Gs. All right. Any final thoughts on the capacitors on World of Women? We don't really know too much yet. This is just kind of, right now it's all speculation.
Yeah, it's a speculation play. If you don't own any WoW or WoW G, I mean, I wouldn't really get involved with the capacitors too much. I just think it's kind of like a high risk play at the moment. But if you do, then that's along the lines of what I'm thinking. Like, you stake or you store your WoW with a capacitor to extract that energy to be used, whether it's in a game, merchandise, IRL events, other rewards. But then the other thing is, I'm wondering, can you mix like a WoW G with a blue cap, or can you mix like a green with a WoW? Is it going to be like different tiers of battle passes, right? So those who don't have a cap, those who have a green cap and a blue cap, and it's kind of like a 3-tiered reward system, maybe. Don't know.
Yeah, no idea. I don't even have any ideas of how to speculate on it, so we'll see. I'm curious to see what it is, and we'll update everybody once more is announced and we know more. All right, moving on. We've got some news on a different blockchain, so we're gonna move away from Ethereum. All right, let's take off all of our Ethereum merch and let's put on our begging clothes, because we're going over to Solana. So Solana, they're set to open an IRL retail store and Web3 embassy in New York. So they're actually going to be opening a physical location in New York City, and I don't know what they're going to be selling. It looks like, I mean, just from here, in the picture, you can see, like, I guess there's some merch, maybe it's NFTs. But what is interesting is that people are going to be able to walk in, and there's gonna be employees there that kind of help onboard people to Solana and to NFTs, and they're gonna help them set up their wallet. They're gonna give them free NFTs. They're gonna kind of educate them on NFTs. Like, you can kind of see, there's a shoe there. Maybe that's kind of showing it. Maybe it'll kind of show off Steppen, because like Steppen's a big thing on Solana. So basically, they're using this as like, I guess it's not really like a store, but it's going to be more of like an onboarding thing to Solana and to Web3 and NFTs. So what are your thoughts on this idea?
I just had an amazing content idea. We both get hired at a Solana store.
Oh no!
For one day, and like see like the fastest way that we could get fired. Like, we could just absolutely, like, people are coming in, we're like, yeah, you don't want to be on Solana. It's the worst blockchain out there. Like,
whoa! Are those real Jays? Nah, you don't want to be in here. This is below you.
Or we scam somebody, like, we're working at the store and ask them for their seed phrase.
Yeah, yeah. This is the genius part. We need your seed phrase to help you out.
Yeah, but anyways, I don't know what they're gonna do here. I even see like a physical pair of shoes right there, sneakers hanging off.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's happening. But they also announced like 2 months ago that they want to launch a cell phone, right?
Yep.
Like
their own Android smartphone.
Yeah. So I mean, these people, they're kind of capping. I don't know. They're going wild. But it fits into that kind of vibe of Solana, the Solana bros. So I'm not surprised, and I'm not gonna take a dig at them really. Like, they're experimenting, they're innovating, right? Like, what's his name from Azuki? They're learning, and I don't know if we can.
The whole blockchain is learning.
The whole blockchain. Man.
I will say, hopefully Solana is actually up whenever people come in to get onboarded onto it. Otherwise, they're going to have to put a close sign on the front door and say, come back later. Solana's on a lunch break. Be back in 30 minutes. I mean, I think it's a good idea. Honestly, like, not trying to joke or anything. We poke fun at Solana a lot just for the memes. But I do think it's a good idea, and it's something that I guess it does help bridge a gap between people that don't know anything about NFTs and people that do. If people can walk to the door and be onboarded, that's a lot easier than someone having to go through and figure it out on their own online, because people will just get overwhelmed online and then just forget about it and not come back. So. I do think that it has potential. I'm curious to see what it's, exactly how it's taken, and being in New York City, I mean, who knows? Like, maybe it pops off. Maybe this is a good catalyst for Solana. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna FUD them for trying something new, but of course, just given their track record, we can say that it is gonna be somewhat of an uphill battle. But why not try to innovate a little bit? Why can't there be physical stores of a blockchain provider, right?
Yeah.
So, what else do we have?
I will say it does kind of like having a physical location really kind of takes the mind away from something being decentralized, right? Like, in my mindset, like, whenever I think of blockchain technology, I think the advantages of it. I think of Web3. I think of these. Obviously, you think the buzzword is decentralized, and having a physical location that somebody owns, like, it kind of shows. Like, obviously, Solana is not a decentralized blockchain. It has a CEO, it has a board, it has owners. Like, Solana is a centralized blockchain. It kind of shows through that. But we can move on. We've got this is a good update. We're going to talk about some good news. We've got a new MetaMask update that's out. And maybe this will help people from getting quote unquote scammed, aka they just sign away their assets. So it looks like MetaMask has added this update where now there's new wording that is added whenever you go to approve transactions. So if you ever go do like, hey, it's 2 a.m., you're feeling it, there's a free mint that happened, and you go to like, hey, it's selling out, I gotta go quick, I gotta send it, and then you pull it up, and then all of a sudden it says, give permission to access all your BAYC, but you're just minting some random derivative project. Why do they need access to your Bored Ape? So it gives that one extra barrier for people to see physically with their eyes, like, hey, if you approve this gives whatever this contract is, it gives them permission to access your assets or whatever assets there are. I think it's a good change. I haven't really tested it out yet. I don't know if it's live yet or if I've seen it yet, but I mean, obviously, it's a good change. It's something that needed to be added for some people because people just keep getting scammed, even though you tell them all the time, like, double check, don't mint from sketchy stuff. This definitely needed to be added, and I'm glad. I think it's still not gonna stop 100% of scams. People are still gonna find a way around it. They're still gonna click through it and ignore it, but it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink, bro. Like, they can put all these details in here. They can have a flashing red screen, but guess what? Idiots are gonna idiot. Right? Like, they're still gonna push send. They're still gonna push approve. They're still gonna hit confirm. Like, just be patient. Like, all you DJs that have ADHD and everything, like, just slow down. Just take a breath whenever you confirm a transaction that requires gas from your wallet, whatever wallet it may be. Like, take a breath, chill, relax, my boy. Like, you're gonna get it. No need to rush and quick approve everything. Yeah, just stay safe out there.
Yeah, and Q-Dog's got a good tip. If you're DJing out there, you're minting random stuff, don't use your main wallet. Just make a side account on MetaMask, load it up with like 0.2 ETH to mint with, and just load it up as you go, and just use a burner wallet. And then if it's safe and it's valuable, then you can transfer that NFT to your main wallet, right? Yeah. But at least it's a good practice to use a burner wallet first, just in case.
Especially these days, like before last year and late last year, like just to transfer an NFT was probably, especially if it was a 721. Probably $15 to $35 just to transfer because gas was always high. These days, Gwei is at like 7, 10, 15. Like, it probably takes $2 to transfer. I'd rather pay another $2 fee. That could be like tax deductible, whatever. But anyways, I'd rather pay that $2 fee, remain safe on that transaction versus like risking my wallet. Especially these days with gas so low. And if it's an 1155, even cheaper. It's gonna be like 50 cents, 20 cents to transfer that baby.
And just wait for the merge, the splurge, the purge, the verge. Just wait for all of the urges.
Yep.
For that reference, Vitalik gave like the roadmap for Ethereum, and it was literally like the merge, splurge, purge, verge. Like, it has all these like words. It looks like it's satire with the names, but it's 100% real. I recommend looking into it. All right, moving on. We had some news today breaking. So Zed token is out. So we all know Zed Run. It's been around for a while. Everyone basically went from Top Shot to Zed to Bored Apes. Zed's kind of been sticking around. They've had a lot of hits. They've had a lot of misses. They've been up and down a lot. It's been a roller coaster. We've been expecting a token from Zed for a long time now, since they've announced it back in, they've hinted at it last year, and they officially announced it pretty much in December, January, that it's coming. And here it is. So they, Zed, I see your little banner there down there, Zed's dead. And yeah, it basically is dead on arrival. They released it, and first of all, and Schiller kind of called this out too on a tweet, but they had this whole thread about the Zed token being launched today. There's no link to where to claim it on this thread. You have to actually go to like the Zed token Twitter page, you go to the Zed token website, but the actual thread, there's not like a hey, click here to claim. It's just hey, it's here.
Not even in the YouTube video.
Yeah, but they announced it. They released this in such a weird way. There's not any utility for it right now. Like, you can't even use it in the Zed ecosystem yet. I mean, eventually you'll be able to, but it was just released in such a non-rush but rushed way. It was so strange, and the price. Last time I checked, it's like at 5 cents per token. My claiming amount, I have like 50 horses on Zed, and I claimed 6,969, so 6969. It was kind of a nice low claiming number to see there, but but Zed's out today. I don't even know. Do you even have any horses, Jeremy? Have you even looked at Zed in the last year?
Boy, I have. Wait, how does it say? How do you say it in Spanish? Anyways, yeah, I have some horses. I have caballos, man, and they're racers, man. I got 2 breeders. I mean, every time that I breed those 2 horses, they come out with the rare coat, and it's just like automatic. And that's why I think I have an offer of one of them, like this whole time, this whole year. Like, this horse that breeds the rare coats has always had a higher offer on it than the floor value, or for what it should. But anyways, I still have my horses in Zed. I don't race. I've just held them because they're Genesis horses, and I mean, what am I gonna sell them for, right? $50, $200, not even. So,
Yeah.
I'd rather just hold on to them, and I'm taking the Top Shot approach. Like, I hope that these are worth something one day.
Man, that kind of reminds me. I mean, we're going a little bit off topic now, but it's about Zed. Back in the day, whenever I was getting my mom into NFTs, she literally mailed me $300 and just said, "Hey, use this to buy me an NFT, like to start off with." Like, she mailed me physically three $100 bills, and I like went to my bank account to exchange it to ETH. And I used that, and I minted her a Bored Ape with it. That's actually, it was her first NFT was a Bored Ape, and then I gave it to her and everything. She sold that Bored Ape for 0.7 and bought 2 Genesis horses on Zed. So she's been down, but she's still got those horses, and just like you, just kind of holding those Jennies, hoping they're going to turn into something. But does this token launch? Does this move the needle for you at all? Does this intrigue you at all, or is this kind of like a non-factor, a non-issue? Like, oh, that's cool. Let me move on.
I'm glad that they still have people working there, and that it has not completely died. I'm glad that they are building, but again, like, I'm happy that they did the token drop, but I need something to do with it. So I know there's a whole bunch of legalities and stuff behind gambling, but I would love to bet on freaking Zed.
Oh my gosh!
Zed token.
Once that happens,
or partial ownership, right?
Yeah.
Fractionalized horses, and let me pay to own part of the ownership of a horse in Zed token. Why not? Like, or stake something in a stable.
Yeah.
Right. So I want X amount of your percentage of this stable's winnings over a month if I put this much in Zed token into it. Just things like that. Like, I'll be excited at that point.
Yeah.
Am I excited that it launched? No, but I'm excited for the possibilities.
Yeah, I do think it's a good opportunity because I've always been optimistic for Zed. I still am. They drop the ball a lot, but they're also a lot further along than any other competitor they have, or any other kind of, like, you look at other NFT games. Like, this is an NFT game. They're further along than 98% of any NFT game out there, right? And it's just one of those things that you can just see the product. You can just imagine yourself walking into like a casino in Vegas, and then in the horse betting area, there's like a place where there's like the digital horse racing that you can bet on and gamble on. So once it makes that process, like, it's just, where it can go from now, it's got such a high upside, and for that reason, I do think, personally, the token right now is a good play because they dropped it in such a bad way. The price is already kind of in the dirt. It's like 5 cents. Maybe it's cheaper now. I think it's a good play to kind of stock up on some, because once they do add utility, once they do add more things you can use the token for, there's been rumors that you can use the Zed token to buy some of the remaining Genesis horses with, which would be nice. Then things start kind of moving, and you can see that token getting a lot more interesting. Maybe it goes from 5 cents, maybe it's now at 10 cents. And hey, if you put in a decent bit now, that's an easy 2x. I did load up on more Zed token earlier, so I'm not just saying this out of hey, you could do this. Like, I'm preaching what I'm saying, like, or I'm doing what I'm preaching right now. Right, it's something I made a move on it earlier, but. Yeah, apparently, I didn't think I bought too much. I put like 1.25 ETH into it, but apparently that was like the highest transaction for the Zed token all day today. So I'm the highest buyer of Zed right now. Maybe it's changed by now, but I thought that was kind of strange. I thought for sure someone out there would have just like scooped up a ton of it. But I'll be tracking it. I don't think it's something we're going to talk about too often unless there is some utility added and it gets interesting soon. But at least it happened today, and we wanted to mention it. So if you do have horses, go to Zed token, go to the website, do your claim, and get your $10 or however much it's worth for right now.
Are you the biggest buyer of Zed? Zed token?
For today, I am. Yeah. Okay. I'm not the biggest holder. I'm not the biggest holder. There's a ton of stables got airdropped like a huge amount of Zed token. I didn't get that much, so that's why I bought some more. But I'm not close to those. So there's a lot more Zed whales out there than me. I'm not a Zed whale. I probably should. I wish Zed had like a system like Axie where you could have scholars and basically like rent out your horses. or I said in the Discord earlier, I need a stable boy. I need someone to come in and manage my stable for me. They can earn a cut, I can earn a cut, everyone's happy. I need that to happen quick. But
quick.
Let's move on to another product with a coin in the dirt. Let's talk about Cool Cats. So we had some news to come out today for Cooltopia. So they had, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but they've kind of revamped their website. Like this already looks I haven't logged on it in a while, so they have revamped it. But some of the updates today, you can now fast hatch eggs. So if you don't want to go through the whole process of going through these transactions or these clickings, doing these quests with your eggs to hatch them, you can just basically fast gas it, pay 50,000 in milk, and you can hatch your egg instantly into a random element, or you can pay 100,000 milk and you get to choose the element for your pet to hatch into. They added that. They also added boss quests. They're kind of trying to reward users for collecting items. And whenever you defeat a boss, you get a boss trophy. It's like a collectible. There's that milk. They also added a degen mode for bosses where you can roll. Let's say, hey, you're in a rush again. You don't want to wait. You don't want to do all this clicking. You can just roll the dice, and basically you get a random boss trophy, and you skip the battle, and you just kind of move on. And like a real quick degen mode for the boss fights. And then they also increased the daily interaction for pets to 10 per pet to help hatch faster. So, with all that being said, that's a lot of updates. Some goods. I think they're all kind of good. Did you mess around with it at all? Is this move the needle for you? Have you been hatching some pets?
I need to take advantage of that fast hatch probably, or the other thing I'm trying to decide, because they opened the nursery tab, which is for unhatched eggs, basically to do something with them, right? So I'm trying to decide whether I want to do the fast hatch or whether I want to just go to the nursery and get rid of my pets, right? Let somebody else adopt them. But we'll see. I haven't done any of the boss quests yet. I think that sounds pretty cool. I haven't totally given up on Cool Cats. I sold mine, but I'm still in the ecosystem in a way, and I'm just kind of waiting for a good time to potentially buy that again. I think that their brand needs to be kind of not the brand revitalized, but the morale behind the team there, right? The confidence in the team. I think market sentiment is that Cool Cats are dead. And I think this is going to be a hell of a comeback story, right? So I'm thinking, Falcons Patriots 28-3, they're down bad, but I feel like Cool Cats can come back. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, I guess, is that fast hatch supposed to be live now?
Supposed to be. They said all features were live after the maintenance mode, but they could have done a rollback that I haven't seen. I'm ready to claim one right now, so I could try to do a live hatch on stream. But I guess I'm not finding it. If anyone in the chat, if you've done this, if you know where it's at, feel free to let me know. Unless they removed it, maybe it was causing issues and they had to take it down for maintenance or whatever. But I'm not seeing anywhere to buy a fast hatch. I can look at it later. Maybe I can figure it out, and I can come on tomorrow and we can hatch some eggs, do some Cool Cat stuff, and see how it goes. But yeah, I think this is good for me because I never even played. I'm gonna put that in quotes. I never played Cooltopia because it was just clicking and it was just kind of boring to me. So I never took the time to hatch any of my eggs. I think all of my pets are still in eggs. So I'm definitely gonna just fast hatch them all because I'm sitting on 1.4 million milk. So I'm just gonna spend some of that milk. We can burn it and hatch some eggs, and then we'll see. Maybe we pull a 1-on-1. That's the dream, right? That's the dream.
All right. Any final thoughts on Cool Cats, Cooltopia? We do have, I guess they do have this announcement coming out tomorrow. We talked about it on Tuesday, of these of the cool friends or I don't know what they're called. Let me see if I can find it. And I don't think they've said any more information about it, but we just have a date and time, and it's tomorrow at I think 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, here it is. We talked about this on Tuesday, so this will be something to watch tomorrow. So I'll be keeping an eye on their Discord, on their Twitter, see what this is, what this means, and see what's coming.
Yeah, these characters, I'm intrigued. Like, I wonder what the next gen stuff is gonna be for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into some. One of listen, I already know this is Jeremy's favorite segment. His favorite thing to do. Let's do some merch review. There it is.
I'm ready.
All right.
Put me in, coach.
So first one, you mentioned it earlier. Let's talk about the Parallel, the PK hoodie.
PK, for those of you who don't know, that is Prime Key. And if you would like to go and purchase a Prime Key these days, I think, let's see, that is going to cost you about 20 ETH or so about $36,000. So Parallel is a card trading game, blah, 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 across multiple mediums and platforms, blah, blah, blah. They took a snapshot of Prime Key holders, and those Prime Key holders are eligible to receive this hoodie for free. But they got these redemption passes, and then you got to burn the redemption passes to get these shipped out. That's the whole thing behind the PK hoodie. So that's why they're so special, blah, blah, blah. But let's break it down. So we don't even get to see kind of like what brand this is from, like what type of material this is. We don't know if the back there is going to be holographic or not. We don't know if the little like inlets on the drawstring are going to be metal, if there's going to be a NFC or QR or some type of linking between the physical and the NFT. So far, and we don't even know if there's a front design. So far, I'm gonna give this like a C, to be honest. Like I still want one because I like Parallel.
Yeah, you're Parallel Maxi. That's interesting.
And it's not a black hoodie. So yeah. I mean, that's already different. That's a thumbs up. But even just rating the design on the back, I mean, what is that? I mean, is that a different language? Is that a Morse code of the future?
Yeah, I mean, I would hope it's a QR code, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So far, because of the lack of information, the way that they've done the drop, like what you have on your screen right here, like that is hideous. Like that they have a different NFT depending on the size just to redeem the hoodie.
Yo, but look at my 2X boys out there. That 30 ETH floor for a 2X, you gotta pay up to be big,
You gotta pay. That's more material,
That's more material. That's a lot more material.
But yeah, so do I vibe with it? I want one. But if I give you my unbiased opinion, my unbiased grade on these things so far in terms of the actual merch itself and the drop mechanism, I'm gonna give this a big fat C for sure.
All right, we gotta see. I will echo all of that. I'm not big into Parallel, but yeah, there's just not a lot of information. I don't know about the design. I don't know what the front looks like. I just don't know the material. Yeah, I'm big fat C. But this is one of the things that it's a C now. But once you get it, it's like, oh, this turned into an A+. Like, this is like the best hoodie. It could turn into that. Or it could be like, nope, this is still a C. The material is completely trash.
Yep.
All right, move on. Next merch, we've got Illuminati. You are a holder in this. I know you redeemed some of this today, and this is their merch. Was it only the top row for today?
Correct.
Okay, so I don't have to zoom out or anything. So this is what the Illuminati's merch looked like. They had some not pin stickers. They have a patch, and they had 2 T-shirts.
Yeah.
And let's see, Jeremy, give us the review.
Drill down on the first shirt, like, yeah, open that. Because, well, first of all, this is a so it's a pretty simple tee, but it's a marine layer tee. So for those of you not aware, marine layer is another like existing clothing brand. So it's not like a Hanes shirt, it's not a whatever you call me shirt, it's a marine layer shirt. So a little bit of a premium there. Marine layer shirts typically go for about $50. What Illuminati is charging for this custom marine layer shirt is $60 based on the ETH price today. So it's gonna be about 60 US. So I think they get a thumbs down for that. I mean, to be honest, they gotta know we've been in a bear market. ETH is down bad. We're all down bad.
It's like 60 for a shirt.
They're still trying to charge $60 for a shirt. So I don't know. Are they kind of like tone deaf? Not sure.
Do they think they're Yuga? I mean,
Do they think they're Yuga? I mean, they did drop goblins without even, letting Illuminati's in first or letting them know.
Yeah.
So I feel like they, in terms of, getting the community on their side, I feel like they do a very, very bad job of that. Now, in terms of branding and stylistic design and aesthetics of everything that they do, I think it's pretty solid. This shirt in front of us may be the worst design thing that they've come out with, and it's not even that bad.
Yeah.
So I think that they've held that bar pretty high. But the shirt, that first shirt, I'm gonna give like a B, maybe B minus. I don't think it's an A yet, but this shirt here also probably like a C plus or a B minus. I like the black on black on black look. I get it. It's like stealth, right? Hidden, Illuminati, Secret Society, and this is more like their meme shirt. So the other one was like more legit, and this is their meme shirt. What are they charging for this one? Like 45 or what?
40 bucks for this one.
40 bucks. So
Yep.
a lot better. I mean, that I still wouldn't call it reasonable, but that's a lot better than 60.
Better than 60. Yeah, absolutely. Did you pick up? I mean, did you pick up either of these shirts today?
I did, but I only picked up one. And like on merch drops, I'll usually go all in. I'll get multiple. I'll
You
get
did
like
one of each, or just one of the shirts?
one of each.
Okay.
And I have
And
five.
did you get both of these as well? The sticker pack and the patch.
Yeah, I did. So those are $10 and $5. The sticker pack is $10, and then the iron-on patch is $5. I thought the stickers, like, those are pretty cool. I'll never use them, but like
Yeah, they're cool to have.
they're cool to have. If I go to an event, like an in-person event, I'll stick it on somebody's,
Yeah.
back. Scroll down.
Okay.
These are pins. Now, these are the things that I'm hyped for. I don't know what it is, and you might agree with me on this, but pins just hit different. And
Pins are great,
especially-
man. Pins are good.
Especially when they're like that. I don't know if die-cast is the right word, but when they have that, when they're embossed, like embossed, there's like texture and detail to them, and
They're like an enamel pins where they're like, that's like the metal material.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I vibe with those,
Yeah.
like heavy, and I love what they did with this. So first of all, one thing I forgot to mention is I'm fudding Illuminati on the drop a little bit because they opened the Illuminati drop for goblins, right? Like this whole time, they have not done a single merch thing. They have not done a single physical item thing for Illuminati collectors at all. Then
Yeah.
they go ahead and stealth mint the goblins without telling Illuminati. And then they come back, and when they do their first merch drop, the Illuminati branded stuff is open to goblins. I mean, I felt like they were cheating on us, and then they bought us like an Xbox, and then they allowed, the boyfriend or whatever to come over and then play our own Xbox. Like,
All right, Jeremy. Yo, Jeremy's fudding. He's fudding the truth.
that, I feel like that's a little bit messed up. You know?
I think if I was an Illuminati holder and not a Goblin holder, I'd feel some type of way as well. Yeah, I'd be like, okay, they don't even like, this isn't like a brand that they even rock, right? Like you just bought a Goblin because you like the memes of them peeing on everything on Twitter, right? It's not even the same collection, not even similar. So
plus, you just think of the motives that they probably did that. It's just probably to sell more and increase. that bottom
absolutely,
line,
and I bet
right?
it worked.
And it works. So I'm fudding them a little bit over that, but I think the pins are fire. The merch is mid. But if you scroll down to those pins, one of the cool things that they did, the Moonbirds approach before Moonbirds, is that they rewarded holders based on how long that they've held the Illuminati and also how many Illuminatis you held during that time. So the inducted pin is a snapshot if you had one. Triadron is if you held 3, and then the favorite is if you held 5 or more. And then the puzzler, I think they had like a riddle or some type of like scavenger hunt puzzle type thing, and only a select few people were able to complete that, and those are those who got the puzzler pin. But these will be a free claim after the merch drop ends. That you'll be able to go in and claim these pins, and then scroll down one more. This is the smoker's jacket, so the inducted smoker's jacket. This one was also a snapshot pass that got airdropped. If you click on the red hyperlink there, inducted Seekers of Truth merch mint pass.
Yeah.
This is what you will need in order to redeem the smoker's jacket.
And let's be honest, this is just a stock photo of a jacket.
I mean, this is probably like a material photo that they got sent from the manufacturer.
This reminds me of the Azuki. Remember the Azuki jacket that they had at the party that they displayed, and it was like, oh my god, this jacket is so cool. Then they released pictures of the actual jackets like last week, and it's like they look like complete cheap knockoffs from that actual version.
Yeah, I mean, so this one I'm a little bit. I don't know how I feel about it because it's not a black jacket, right? But it's also not a hoodie. But then at the same time, when you think about this color in Illuminati, like you may not think bright pink for a secret society.
Yeah, you want to be more subtle.
Yeah, it should probably be more subtle. But do you want black or gray like all the other NFT projects?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm conflicted on that.
All right, well, let's move on to, we already mentioned it, obviously Truth is also the team behind Goblins, and Goblins had a merch drop at the same time today, and the Goblin merch, definitely a little bit different than the Truth merch, I'll say that. So here we go. Actually, before we even hop into this, let me just do a quick change real quick. Yep, you got it too? All right. We've got our McGoblin burgers. We're ready to, we signed up for the food lines. We're ready to work.
Yeah.
Times are tough, and can we take your order?
ETH was down bad. We had to get hired by McGoblin Burgers.
It was NYC was rough. It was really rough. We walked in thinking we were kings. We walked out with jobs at McGoblin Burger.
But to continue on the FUD from Truth Labs is that. Okay, they opened Illuminati merch to Goblins, and then they did the Goblins dirty by opening up the Goblin merch to everybody. So there's only 3 pieces on here that aren't like limited or exclusive to Goblins. Everything else can be purchased by the public.
Yeah, I think these down here are the ones that are exclusive to holders, and everything else you can buy.
Yeah, so I mean that again, if I'm a Goblin holder, I'd be a little bit upset about that.
Oh yeah,
because I feel that there should just be exclusivity to these things. That's kind of why we purchase some of these NFTs.
That's why we like merch. We like the exclusivity.
At least the Genesis one, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure, open it up to a bigger brand, bigger audience, expand your coverage there a bit. But on the first merch drop, that should be so limited that maybe some of even your holders, if they miss the window, like there's no going back. They missed out.
Well, let's jump into this. I don't really care about stickers or patches. Let's just skip that. We have the hats on. I think the hat's different. I think we like it. But let's jump into the actual the meat of the merch. Let's first look at this hoodie. Mm-hmm. We've seen black hoodies. We've seen white hoodies. What's your take on this Goblin hoodie?
I think for some reason this reminds me of Rugrats.
It does actually. That's good. That's a good comp.
It reminds me of Rugrats, and that's kind of a bad thing because I feel like only some Fortnite kid in middle school may want this hoodie. Right?
Would you ever wear this out in public with your wife? Or just hitting the town. Hey, let me go get my Goblin hoodie. Let's go shopping. Let's go on date night.
Absolutely not. Like if you bought this and if you're wearing this, there's no chance that you interact with the opposite sex. No matter who you are. Like there's 0% chance that you actually know how to talk to somebody else. And imagine like a 35-year-old person like going out and wearing this in public.
Oh my god.
I mean, the only place that you wear this to is probably the unemployment line. That's about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I will say there's one thing I really like about it because we haven't seen this from really any. Yeah, Justifish, you're right. Schiller would wear this 100%. Absolutely, this and his neon green Nikes he would wear. But there is one thing that we haven't. I don't think we've seen in any other like popular merch drop for hoodies. It's a zip down hoodie.
I mean that is the one positive thing.
That's the one. I'll say the one that is the one thing that stuck out to me. I'm like, hey, I wouldn't mind if some of the hoodies that we get were zip up, zip down. I would like the flexibility for that. So that's the one thing I'll say that's good about it. It's different. Like you said, it does remind me of the Rugrats theme. JVB says he would fight someone for a Basie zip down hoodie. I've seen people turn in their hoodies. They've take them to like tailors and they've turned them into zip downs. And I may have to do that if we don't get our own because I'm a fan of that. But the hoodie design, I would never wear this. This is something like if I had like a 4-year-old kid, this is what they would wear if they're like if it's in the winter and it's cold in their house and they would wear it in their house. But I still wouldn't let them like all right, we're leaving the house, take that off. We're not you can't wear that outside.
This would have actually been a banger if it were a poster, right?
Yep.
Like if it were a poster, that design that goes hard.
Yeah, like absolutely. Let's look at some of the shirts. So we've seen this meme on Twitter from them before. Yep. Again, I would never wear this.
It's like caca.
All right. It's just like also that color. It's not like a flat. I don't like the color. Like that green. But I mean, I guess that's them trying to be on brand. I just don't like the brand. I don't vibe with it. So that's a no from me.
Perfect golden tan. That's the only skin tone that shirt goes well with.
I would probably wear this shirt. Not in public, but like to an NFT event. I would probably wear it out to the NFT event, but I would not wear it in my own town.
Probably the best of the collection.
Yeah, this is probably the best one. Obviously, Goblin D's nuts.
And that's bad if this is the best one.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if it's just this picture, but like it just looks like the sleeves are like it looks like this is gonna be giving me like putting my it's gonna be constricting my arms. Like the sleeves just look so tiny. I'm sure it's just a picture, but I don't know the quality of the actual shirts themselves.
I would have liked to see them do like a little bit of an outline or like a negative space of actual like goblin head, just a generic goblin head from their collection. Yeah, somewhere in there. Hot Gob Summer.
Hot Gob Summer. Yeah.
Summer's already over, pretty much, by the time these go out. Dark
Goblin
mode.
Morning.
There's no shot I'm paying for a shirt. That's just like copy.
It's just a tweet post on it. Yeah. I guess the next. I do like these shirts down here. The Funks basically making fun of some of the collections out of this is obviously making fun of Azuki's and because they're behind
Zagabond.
Funks, Zunks, Tendies, Zagabond. That's poking fun at him. This is probably actually I think this is my favorite shirt over the Goblin D's nuts just because it is making fun of Zagabond and everyone that sees it gets it pretty much.
In terms of creativity and design, like I think this is the best one. In terms of which one that I think most people would order, probably the Goblin D's nuts.
Yeah. Yep, and then just a simple, 1 ETH is 1 ETH, which is the popular saying.
I would much rather, to complete the meme, I would much rather people go buy like a gray Hanes shirt from Walmart and a permanent marker and create that themselves.
Yeah. So also, in addition to their shirts and hoodies, they also had sriracha mayo and goizen sauce. I don't know, but basically they had these like these limited edition sauces for their holders as well, which I guess is interesting. I'd be curious to see like actually how they are, like if it's just like rebranded stock sauce from Costco or whatever. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely different. Something different that we haven't seen from too many other collections. Obviously, we've seen things come from. We've seen like Bored Ape branded coffees and sauces and beers and stuff. But that's not directly from Yuga. That's from holders making it on their own. This one's directly from the company. So I'm curious to see, the process behind making it, or if it's just some like cheap stock thing that they just paid for a new label. But it's different. I'll give them props. It is different. So good for them.
But again, overall, I mean, I think this is not necessarily a dud from Illuminati and Truth Labs, but I think it's definitely an F. I think it's a fail in a way.
I don't think we're the target.
Things are pre-orders too.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be 12 weeks probably before you get this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the people that really love goblins probably think this merch is like the best thing in the world. Like I can already imagine next time we're at NFT NYC or some other NFT event, we're gonna see some of these hoodies, and someone's gonna be walking around with this hoodie, wearing it every single day of the week at these events, being extremely proud, thinking they're the coolest person in the room, and we're gonna be there just like, oh man, that person. Ooh,
Plus, you're telling me I've held an Illuminati from this point, and it's taken you this long to do merch.
yeah,
But the goblins have been holding since this point, and just weeks later, they get a merch drop.
right.
And you want me to pay like the same just as like goblins have. Like that, it doesn't sit right with me that they've done so much more with goblins, because even tomorrow, right? Like goblins have something going on where you burn a goblin in a burger, you get something else. What have you been able to do with an Illuminati?
I think it's pretty obvious that, I mean, I guess this is obviously bigger than a merch review discussion, but it's pretty obvious to me that Truth, the company behind both of them, they didn't make as much money from Illuminati. It didn't kick off as well as they thought. Moved on to Goblins. Goblins took off, and and now Goblins is their star child, and Illuminati is kind of like their stepchild. It's just like, oh well, they're there. We'll pay attention to them every now and then, but Goblins are more is now our star child. They're gonna get 100% of our attention, and then it sounds like they're just kind of slowly stringing along Illuminati just so that it doesn't get called a rug, basically, and that's it. That's how it seems like it is to me. It looks like you're kind of sad about it. I don't know.
I am. I'm sad.
Definitely sad. All right, we've got
big
one more merch. It's not really a review because we don't even know what it looks like yet, but it's something different. And and I say different. I don't mean that. I guess we'll get into this discussion. It's not necessarily different in a good way. So Pixel Vault, they have Meta Hero merch coming out soon, and they decided, they don't have any designs yet. They decided they're gonna do, basically they're copying their whole Elite Ape Madness, their Ape Madness thing, and they're doing it with the core Meta Heroes. They're doing March Madness or Merch Madness for Meta Heroes, and basically the community is voting on these different rounds of Meta Heroes to decide which meta hero identities or core identities will be featured on their first apparel or their first merch collection. What are your thoughts on this approach? And also, what are your thoughts on, I guess it's not going to be just a logo, like the merch is going to be like merch around one of these meta heroes, which that's the part I'm kind of held up on, but I want to get your thoughts on it.
I don't mind it. I don't know if it should be necessarily like a tournament bracket, because first, we're not in March, right? This has no like the play on words, March Madness, blah blah blah. Like if you're gonna do this in March, and then also like these heroes have nothing to do with like sports or like a team versus a team.
Yep.
So I think there could have been another structure to roll this out, but the main idea or the reason for doing this is to get kind of like community feedback. It's kind of like taking a poll to know which ones would actually do well. Like I applaud them for that, right?
Yeah.
And thanks for trying, but it also seemed like irrelevant.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I guess my thoughts on it, like I guess I'm okay with the bracket, like whatever, that's fine. But my whole thing is like the merch. Like whenever I buy merch of a collection I own, I want it to be like the logo or like the branding. I don't want it to be of an NFT that I don't own. Like these core identities, they're their own NFT, and so it's like, I'm about to get a merch of an NFT that I don't own and then wear it and have conversations like, oh no, this actually isn't mine. Mine's a different one. Because we've seen at Ape Fest, you saw all the different people that had their own custom merch. They had their ape on their shirt. So I feel like if literally it's going to be a picture of Meta Hero on the shirt or whatever, like it's just going to be weird to explain to people like, oh no, this isn't actually mine. This is a core identity, which is a different collection, but mine's a generative Meta Hero. It's not a core, and mine doesn't look like this, but it's just, I don't know. You're going to be going in circles. I would much rather it just be like don't poll me, don't do a voting thing. Just take control, do merch around your logo, around your colors, around your vibes, what you want, and just give me that. Don't give me merch around a different NFT that I don't own. That's kind of my thoughts on it from someone that owns several meta heroes in Pixel Vault.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a little weird to wear an NFT of somebody that somebody else owns. It's not the collection that owns it. It's not the DAO wallet that owns it. You know,
Yeah.
it's literally somebody else's NFT.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. It's like someone that's not in Pixelvault owns that NFT. So imagine like, listen, let's play a scenario. Let's say you own Lone One. Like this is your core hero. Like you actually own this one, and it wins, and they make a ton of merch based off of your NFT that you own. But because of how they've set it up, you don't get any kickbacks on that core meta hero for like you don't own the IP to that core identity. Pixelvault does. So your NFT is going to be all over on other people's merch, and you haven't seen a single dime from it. Like it's a weird way to do merch, and I don't think I'm here for it. I'd rather them take the approach of, you know, we look at the gaming industry. You're pretty big into like 100 Thieves and like these big gaming names, and these, you know, they have their own merch. Like kind of maybe go that kind of route because they're trying to make their way into gaming. Like do something like that instead of trying to feature a different merch. And Chili's sick of merch already, so I'm maybe on the same page, but
Yeah, I'm a bit sick of merch, and then also just I feel like most projects aren't doing it right anyways, because merch should honestly be like a loss leader. It should not be something that's like a green line for you guys, like in terms of your business model. um Merch should honestly be looked at as a loss leader in terms of marketing and brand awareness. So the fact that they're trying to like extract additional value based on this instead of focusing on the actual power of Web3, is kind of like a thumbs down for me across all projects, and that's Bored
Yeah.
Apes and Yuga included. I mean, the only ones that are doing it, and I know we talked about them earlier, and I'm not gonna go on too long about this, but it's Proof and Moonbirds. Literally every single thing about their merch has been given out for free,
Mhm.
and so they're the only ones who are understanding it correctly and doing that up to this point. And then the other thing is, it should be interoperable, and it should be like enabled within the metaverse. There shouldn't even be a question about whether or not you do something phygital, right? Especially in the space.
Yeah.
That you should have the physical and digital version of those things as much as reasonable. Like if there's tiny little details within the merch, sure, it's like you don't need that in the metaverse. But
Yeah, like I feel like with like on that note, like Yuga could have a really cool merch line built around the other side that's interoperable with the other side with their metaverse. That I think that could be really cool. Kind of similar to maybe what Artifact is doing with their hoodies. All right, any final notes on merch before we move on? Chili's tired of it. Are you tired of it?
look, man, I'm always kind of like, I get rid of stuff in my closet, I add stuff to my closet, I get rid of stuff. Like there's such a cycle, and I cycle my stuff out more than anybody else I know. So
Yeah.
I love merch, but I'm not tired of reviewing or rating it or getting it. You
Yeah.
know, there's gonna be highs and lows. I'm gonna like some, I'm not gonna like some, but I do get Chili's point in terms of I'm tired of merch being an actual like milestone for a project, right? Or like a big focus of theirs. It should just be something on the side, again, something that's a loss leader, a claim, a reward. It shouldn't be like, oh wow, look at what we've built and done for you guys. We've actually, it's our Genesis merch drop, yay!
Yeah.
Like nah, like nobody cares, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, with all that being said, stay tuned for NFA merch. It's coming out soon. Our hoodies will be a cheap $300. Shirts will be $120. Trust me, it's basically free. But no, we're not doing merch anytime soon. Maybe in the future. I'm not gonna close it off yet, in case we'll leave the door open. But let's move on to the last topic I had, and I kind of hinted at this earlier to TrueCon about Steppen and a competitor of Steppen. TrueCon's probably not even here anymore. He's probably off. Okay. He's probably off having fun in LA doing whatever. He's already out for the night. But if he's here. And this is what I was hinting at. We are seeing, we've seen Steppen have this huge success on Solana. They've moved to ETH. And basically, if you don't know what Steppen is, it's you buy a shoe NFT and then you can use their app, and basically you just walk or run or be active. It counts your steps or your distance, and you get a token based off of walking. So you're basically I think it's basically walk to earn or move to earn, pretty much, right? Like you just move, you exercise, and you get paid in a token that you can then sell for USDC or exchange it into ETH or do whatever you want with it. Do whatever you want with it. But there's a competitor coming to Steppen, and I haven't seen it's been talked about too much. I saw the news today. So we've got there's an app called Sweatcoin, and that already sounds like a crypto thing, but it's not. like Sweatcoin has been around for a bit. They're not related to crypto at all. Ignore that picture. It's just someone sweating. No big deal. So Sweatcoin raised $13 million, and they are basically ready to leap into Web3. And their whole basis, Sweatcoin in general, they have an app. It's the same thing as Steppen. You move and then you get discounts. You can buy stuff, but it's a whole Web2 thing. It's not built on a blockchain. It's all kind of just via their app. But they're changing that. They're making the move to the blockchain, and they already have. The crazy thing about them is they already have 100 million users on their app. Wow. Steppen's nowhere near to that. Steppen maybe has maybe a few thousand, right?
Yeah.
And you're in a line to get into Steppen. So Sweatcoin, they already have 100 million users. They're about to onboard people to this, and this is something I'll be keeping track of, because you don't need there's not going to be an upfront purchase like with Steppen. You have to have one of their shoe NFTs to use. But with Sweatcoin, they come out and said, let me see if I can find it further in the article. Yeah, so there's no initial payment. You don't need to buy an NFT. You literally just download the app and get started, and you'll get paid in Sweatcoins. Converted into Sweatcoins. So I think they're going to be it's going to be on ETH and a different blockchain. I think you're able to choose. But they will have NFTs as well, and basically by having an NFT, it's going to boost your rewards or give you extra bonuses. So it's not required to use it to get rewards, but there is going to be an advantage to having the NFT. So again, I think something like this, something that's been doing it for a while, and they can come in and just kind of sweep the floor with Steppen and make them irrelevant, because this is someone that's been doing this for a while, and they have the user base, and it could be one of those big onboarding things that we've seen for crypto. And I think it's something to keep track on, keep an eye on, because it's a big brand entering Web3.
And that's the risk of these things too. Like, imagine somebody heavily invested in Steppen. I'm not saying that they're not going to be successful or be able to make their money back, but you always have to consider outside competitors, whether they're in Web3 or Web2. Like, these things aren't a given. These things aren't like world's first, or even if they are, like, that doesn't mean that somebody can come in later and take over the space and market or capture most of the market. So that's just another lesson. And again, Steppen could be the ultimate winner here, but just let this be a short, quick lesson that whatever project you invest in, that doesn't mean like they're going to be the only ones to do it ever or do it the best. Yeah. So just be aware of those risks.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, this is just something to definitely keep an eye on, especially if you're already if you go on walks, if you live in the city, you walk a bunch, you work out a bunch. If it's free to get started, it's not hurting you, it's not costing you anything. So it's something that you can watch out for, and once it's actually implemented, you can take advantage of it pretty early on. Because if it's anything like Steppen that we've seen, you can make a lot of money early on before the masses get to it, and then it completely tanks the price. So that definitely could be something to take advantage of early on. Like, as soon as it launches, basically do just non-stop walking, and then get the token, sell it immediately, and wait till it crashes. But so definitely keep an eye on it, take advantage of it, and and that is the last of our news. Jeremy, do you have any final notes, news, comments, anything before we sign off for the day?
Not a whole lot necessarily. If you guys have looked into or heard of the project called Half Baked, That is a kind of like derivative project from, I don't know if he's an ape owner himself. I think he is. But anyways, he's coming out with a line of cannabis like items and stuff like that, and edible CBD, like even dog treats or pet treats. I think the timeline is supposed to be minting this weekend, and the allow list is still open. I just put it there in the chat. I don't know if it will get postponed or not, so you're still able to sign up. And I don't know if anybody's interested. I'm not calling it alpha because I don't see it everywhere on Discords and Twitters and whatnot. But so far, in terms of the execution and a lot of these, what do you call them? Like not projections. What do you call them? The concepts of these
Yep.
things. Like it's pretty cool, and even the word, the title of the thing, like the half baked. I feel like that's a lot better than some of the ape food restaurants. So I don't know. I think that they have something here. It's something that I'm definitely looking into, and as well as they're actually paying out ape owners and mutant owners and dog owners based on the licensing of the usage of those images, those NFTs on the products. So I almost feel like this is, and I hate to call it, I don't want to hype it up too much, but kind of like the Jenkins of the ape and cannabis product offering, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I like it. That's a good shout out. Definitely something good to keep track of. Well, that was it. That was our Thursday. This is kind of our new format. We break down, obviously, a longer stream than our normal streams.
we break down.
Yeah. My voice is gone, but this is kind of what we're trying to do is on these Thursday streams, break down the news for the week. A lot of it's gonna be old, some of it will be new, and then maybe we'll stream at some other point tomorrow if something's happening, or if not, we'll be doing some pop-up impromptu streams between now and next Thursday. But at least you'll see us. Next Thursday, same time, and we'll be popping on between now and then. Jeremy's already vibing; he's ready to take the night off. Go get some beers and margaritas, whatever you want. But yeah, anything else?
Nah, it's the weekend, baby. Yo, let's have some fun.
It's the weekend.
Yeah, everything that tagline said, and then the other thing is that we'll probably try to introduce some like Web3 gaming or just gaming in general.
Yeah.
But we'll try to keep it as much Web3 as possible. But we know a lot of you guys and girls love the Call of Duties and the Fortnites and all the other stuff of the world, TFTs. So we don't mind that at all. But we'll try to introduce some gaming nights for the squad.
Yeah. I mean, maybe now that we've got Gods Unchained, they got the Twitch stuff. Maybe now that Z token's a thing, they're relevant. Maybe I can hop on, do some horse breeding, some races with the stream, and hop on there. Yeah, we can just hop on, do some random stuff if we're feeling it.
Cooltopia.
Cooltopia. I do plan on doing some Cooltopia streams because I've got a lot of stuff I need to do. Once I figure out how to do the fast hatching, I'll hop on and do. I will literally fast hatch all of my eggs in one stream just so we can see what we get. Because I'm not gonna sit there and play that game, but I will fast hatch them. All right. Well, I'm ready for some dinner, so we're gonna hop off here. We'll see y'all at some point. Keep track of our Twitter. Follow our Twitter. We're posting there a lot more often than we had before. We're trying to keep more like live updates, live things happening. We're trying to tweet more there. So follow that. Yeah, stay informed. And besides that, as usual, be your own alpha.
Yo, be your own alpha. This is NFA, where we teach you how to be a fish. I mean, from being a fish to being a whale.
There you go. Yeah.
Yo, have a nice weekend. GG's. We're out.
Yeah, we out. Take it easy. Peace.